Alright, here we go. You eventually leave the snowy forest and re-enter a narrow cavern. You're back inside a cave-like structure and the air is already significantly warmer. It's narrower than any of the previous areas and the walls are smooth to the touch. And embedded in them are blue crystals that faintly glow. The crystals provide enough light that you do not need your phone. You think they are pretty if you were in the right mindset to admire that. All you can think about, however, is when you're going to find more ashes, more bodies. It doesn't take long. Each pile of ash you leave behind a flower and a piece of your heart. What happened to these monsters? What killed them? What cruel twist of fate forced this upon them? Why? It's not fair. It's not right. It's hard to keep going, but you do it anyway. Also, welcome back to Dusttale by the darkpetal16, and welcome to me trying to go down the treasure path while breaking my heart along the way. It's a blur of silence, dimly lit tunnels and ash. You walk, you find the ash. You feel a bit of you break as you leave behind a flower. You move on, rinse and repeat, again and again and again, and you see a large blue flower. You're finally leaving the narrow caves, and at the end there's a large blue flower. It goes up to your waist, with petals as large as your face. Something better than paper flowers. You reach out and go to touch one, and it shines. All that gives my life validation is explaining the echo flowers. No one can know. You suck in a sharp breath at the voice. It comes out slightly distorted, as if being played back from a recording. You frown and touch the flower again, and it repeats itself. Oh, you move to touch another flower. Do you think the sun is warm? Oh, you snap your hand away from the flowers, it burns you. These are recordings of their last conversations. You touch the flowers as you walk. You want to hear them. You make it a point to touch, to listen, to understand. It hurts you. Each voice you listen to is like digging needles in your head. They died. They're dead, and you know, their hopes and wishes in these flowers will never be fulfilled. Their idle conversation, passing remarks, and words disappear into the air like foam of a wave. The world carries on without them, but not you. You walk slowly, taking great care not to miss any flower. A long time ago, monsters would whisper their wishes to the stars in the sky. If you hoped with all your heart, your wishes would come true. Now all we have are these sparkling stones on the ceiling. You glance up. It is pretty. The blue crystals shine and sparkle in a way similar to stars. They pale in comparison to real stars, but they are beautiful in their own right. It's sweet that they make wishes on them like stars. 1, 2, 10, 20. You listen to each wish made. I wish I could be strong like and die. I wish I could make friends. I wish you would notice me. There are wishes no different than that of a human would make. From what you would make. Your finger lightly traces the blue petals of these flowers. The flowers do a good job retaining their voices too. You can tell a lot about a monster from the voice in the flowers. Small, large, light, deep, raspy. You heard it all. So, don't you have any wishes to make? The voice is louder than the other voices you've listened to. Just one, but it's kind of stupid. This is one of the softer voices. You tilt your head to hear it better. Don't say that. Come on, I promise I won't laugh. If I say my wish, you promise you won't laugh at me? Of course I won't. Someday I'd like to climb this mountain we're all buried under. Standing in the sky, looking at the world all around. That's my wish. A wish to see the stars. You wish you could see the stars with that monster too. It hurts. Your heart hurts. You walk and walk and walk. You walk through the sparkling cavern and through the raining tunnels. You place a flower at each pile of ash you encounter, and eventually you reach a tunnel that empties out into some hot place. The rocks and stones are reddish brown, and you can hear bubbles of lava underneath. You see there are many bridges connecting different areas. It's a very wide and open area. The lava is bright enough it forces you to squint when you look at it. You walk for another minute down the path until it branches off, and there are tall steps on the left path that lead up to an elevator shaft. You think. The forward path goes over to a stone bridge. Okay. So where are we going? We're gonna go forward. The path leads to a large white building with the word lab written on the side. You approach the front door. There are no handles. Doesn't look like there's any way for you to go inside. It's interesting to see, though. Everything you've seen has had power. The monster must have advanced their technology to the point where most, if not all, of their essential needs can be automated. You wonder, could someone live down here as it is? It's a thought. Not that you would want to. You have no reason to. You turn back and go down the other path. Go left. As you walk, you pass by an empty sentry station. Peering aside, you notice some empty ketchup bottles. You continue to walk across these hot lands. The air pricks your skin. Each breath is uncomfortable and you feel yourself drying out with each step. Then you come across your first set of ashes in the air. You've run out of flowers. Aww. No. I don't know who this is. Kneel in front of it. You tell them that you're sorry. You promise to come back if you find more paper or flowers. You don't know where you'll get the flowers, but you'll figure something out. You promise. You promise you mourn this tragedy and weep. Your tears come freely. Your empathy demanding no less, and you cry out without hesitation, bowing your head as tears plop to the ground. Once you start, you find it's hard to stop. What was silent has turned into loud hiccuping, sniffles, and whimpers. You apologize to these monsters. You're sorry this happened to them. You're sorry they were banished. You're sorry they died here. You're sorry you couldn't help them. You're sorry you had nothing for them. You're so sorry that you have no more flowers. You apologize in every way you can think of, emptying your heart. It's not fair. It's not right. They should not have been banished. Well, definitely 100% they shouldn't have been banished. It was the other guy at fault. They should not have been forgotten. They deserve so much more than meager little flowers that you can give them. You're sorry. You are so sorry. You weep. You weep for them. You weep for this situation. You weep for yourself. Your breathing becomes hitched and hindered as you struggle to gasp for air. Your throat tightens and your vision is gone. It's nothing but a blur of red. You sob loudly, helpless to the grief you feel deep down. Your tears do stop as exhaustion wraps itself around you and your eyes are heavy and you rub at them. You sniffle as your breath evens out. You feel silly. You feel tired. Your heart throbs and an invisible hammer slams into it and you force yourself to get up. You whimper one more apology. Oh. Every ash you see, you stop at and offer a quiet apology. You're tired, so tired. Emotionally and physically you have withered away, but you keep walking. You stop only to offer an apology at the ashes you come across. You climb the red stone steps and you enter a temperature-controlled area. There's a glistening fountain at the entrance and the ground is paved with well-maintained blue brick road. And there are street lights all over, each cast in a soft violet blue glow. A glance up shows a very tall ceiling with what looks to be hanging houses. The first building you see is something with a sign that reads MTT Resort and Spa. The brick road splits off on the right and left side of the building, where you see even more buildings, and you can't get a good look at all of them yet. It definitely feels like you've entered a city in a cave, a magic city, an empty city. You call out and your voice cracks. There's no response. You call out again as you walk the streets. You hope, you pray, you wish. Don't all be ashes. Please, please, please. Oh God. And then of course I'm having some flashbacks here. It's partially on the table, partially in the chair, and the rest is on the floor. As if someone was sitting there, as if someone had died here. Please, please, please. Ashes on the table and in the booths and over the counters. Ashes in almost every seat. It's a mass grave. You raise your voice and you shout as loud as you can. There's ashes on the counter. You step close and see that it's spilled behind the counter as well. Looking behind the counter, you notice there are 2 more piles of ashes. They're smaller than the ones you've seen before, and your throat is raw and hoarsish. You call it again and again, but no one responds. You have no other choice but to accept this silence. This unending, unrelenting, suffocating silence that drowns your screams. There is no one left. There is only you. Only you and ashes. They died here in the dark. They died without knowing what the sun feels like, what the stars look like, what spring tastes like. Their wishes were for nothing. Their hopes and dreams are dust in the wind, and you wander this empty city, your heart as broken as can be, and tears slip out without protest or warning. They slide down your cheek, and your swollen eyes sting from their departure. You do not stop until you see a store, a craft store. Go inside. This is important. The door is unlocked and you open it and step inside to a small arts and crafts shop. There is a light switch nearby that you flicker to turn on the light. You find yourself in a large room with many shelves of paper, scissors, glues, and other necessities, but you know what to do. You grab the supplies and take a seat. You work without pause. You make flowers for hours, enough to fill your bag twice over, and your fingers are stiff from your unrelenting pace, and your back is more rigid than a plank. You stuff your bag full, content with what you need to come back for the rest of the flowers. You backtrack to the pile of ashes you saw before and you place flowers at them. Every ash pile along the road you give them flowers. You don't go into their homes. That feels unnecessarily intrusive, but you do place flowers at the front doors of the buildings. You leave a bouquet at the lab, uncertain how many monsters were inside. Oh, my sweet Alphys! You use up nearly all your flowers in the city, and only when you do, you take the elevator up to the castle that overlooks it. God, lend my heart. The castle is built into the cave wall. Faded gold and white stones is made beside dark stones and sparkling blue crystals. There are intricate designs and murals carved into its sides. You see large stained glass windows depicting the dawn. It is immaculate, beautiful, and feels terribly lonely. The door opens easily when you push them, although they loudly creak. You step inside. The front room reminds you a lot of the first house you entered. There are numerous lights that cast a warm glow around the room, and the floor is a golden mosaic with a white outline. The walls are smooth cream colour, and you walk forward. From the front room there is a garden of golden flowers. The light that filters in is artificial, but it feels nice. The garden is overgrown. You keep walking. There's only one way to go. Through the garden, past the throne, down the hall, you reach the end. It must be the end, right? A huge roll of pulsating white light. It must be the barrier humanity sealed the monsters behind. Humans have always been immune to sealing magic. You doubt you'll have any issue crossing through it. But what about Sans? You linger. You had kept dismissing it, but now that you've found the exit, you feel it again. Someone is watching you. A monster? One who remained quiet when you called out. Turn around. There is a monster behind you. He's shorter than you. He wears a long black sweater, pants, and sneakers. He has a dark blue jacket that is zipped up all the way, and its hood's up, and a bright red scarf wrapped around. His hands are in his jacket pocket. There is an unnatural shadow covering his face from the hood, and all you can see is two red and blue lights shining from within, and he stares at you. Oh, Sans. Stare at him. There is a long moment of silence between you. He is a monster all alone in the kingdom of ashes and dust, the last monster. Your heart breaks for him, and you can feel your eyes burn again. You can't help it. You take a step closer to him. His head cocks to the side, and you move closer to him, slow and quietly. He doesn't react further than continuing to watch you. When he is close enough, you up your arms around him and pull him close. He is cold. He feels like nothing but skin and bone in your arms. Oh, he's a freaking skeleton. This poor monster. You squeeze him tightly, and you hear a sigh. He pulls out an arm from his jacket pocket and he pats your back. Oh. Then he grips on the back of your clothes, tightens. You are suddenly yanked away by him and tossed through the barrier. The last thing you see are red and blue lights that shine in the dark. Oh. Is this the end? No. I don't want it to end here. The idea that monster being stuck in there alone. You know what you want to do. You don't want to return to a life of normality. That he went through changed you. The ashes may be out of sight, but it will never leave your mind. You walk down the mountain and you prepare yourself for what is to come. It takes you a few days to finish preparations. Then it takes you another 2 days to find the spot where you fell. Oh my god, I actually made it to the end. Hold on now. Am I gonna die by him? Is this a friendship? I can't tell. I think I just did the friendship route, but there's more to it, right? I'm still alive. You were better prepared this time. There's no need for jump down. You have the right equipment to rappel down. Finally, one person is smart and brings the climbing gear. About freaking time. Something you've never done before. It takes you 30 minutes of careful maneuvering until you reach that familiar flower bed. You adjust the backpack over your shoulder and you pull out the flashlight you prepared and start to walk down the tunnel. Into the darkness you go, past the droplets. You reach the house and pardon the monster for your intrusion once more. Hi, Tori. You descend the stairs, prepared to enter the cold, but you find a monster waiting for you at the end. You step closer to him. You have a better look at the monster now. His hood doesn't shadow his face entirely, and you realize he's some type of skeleton monster. He has a wide grin on his face that seems contradictory to his intense gaze. He stares at you, and you stare at him. His eyelights flicker up and down as he assesses you. Having reached a decision, he vanishes into the distortion of air, and he's gone. You grip your backpack more firmly and carry on. You don't see him again until the next day. Your first few days in the underground, you spend setting up your home at the inn in the village. You set your things, and then you get your notebook and pen ready to make a map. You start to explore the underground with your calmer mind and the lack of threat to your life. What do you mean, the lack of threat to my life? Am I like 100% sure he's not going to kill me? I mean, sure, he kind of disappeared, but he did disappear with a smile on his face. Was he happy, like, to see me, the fact that I'm staying? Or is he like, they might be fun to kill later? Either way, I think I'm okay. I'm not sure. I think I'm fine for now. I don't think he's going to kill me unless I annoy him. Oh my god. I am an emotional wreck. I am an emotional wreck. Moving on. You are able to notice things in greater detail. You take note of the buildings you run across and examine where you can find food and water. Power runs through the entire underground. You're not sure how, but it looks like all of the main facilities can continue to run without issue. When you see the monster again, it's not for long. You catch him staring at you from a distance in the snow town. He holds a cigarette between two white-gloved fingers. Did he take up smoking? He noticed that you saw him. He flicks the cigarette and then vanishes without a trace. At least he's not gonna freaking kill me in my sleep because I freaking noticed him because he sucks at hiding. The cycle repeats itself for a few more days. As you work on familiarizing yourself with the underground, he watches you. It's like he's assessing what we're doing. He's like not sure what to think of us. If he catches on that you notice him, he makes it a point to disappear in front of your eyes. It's hard to tell if it's a taunt or something else. It's not as if he's giving you a chance to ask. All you can do is carry on, so you do. You find where the food is made. Large warehouse-like building in the city that repeatedly grows a variety of plants. The plants are automatically harvested through huge machines and turned into a variety of food. A lot of it you recognize, but there are many things you don't. Something else to note is that you haven't needed to use the bathroom once since you started eating the food made by monsters. You're not sure why. You hope that's normal. Every day you find something new in the underground, and there are many nooks and crannies that the monsters utilize. They are amazing. Whoa. At the end of the first week, he comes to you. He appears in the inn right as you walk down the stairs. He looks up to you, as though he has a smile on his face. You don't think he's happy. Is it permanent? The monster asks you, why did you come back? He has a softer and deeper voice than you expected. Huh. When I was on a romance card, I said it was because of him. Okay, so last time I said it was because of him. This felt right to you. The monster doesn't respond. He sails silent as he stares at you. You walk closer and hold out your hand, and you introduce yourself. He looks at your hand. He looks up at you. He takes your hand. Sans, he says. Sans the skeleton. You tell him you're happy to meet him. He stares at you again. He looks down at your hand, and he immediately lets go. Done exploring, he asks? You shake your head. You keep finding new things. You're certain there's more to see. There isn't, he says. Oh? But how about it? He says, looking away. Would he mind showing you? A raspy voice comes as a skeleton. Are you asking me for a tour? He spreads his arm. Welcome to the underground. Everyone's dead. Oh. You apologize. Enjoy your stay, he says, he disappears. You don't see him again for the rest of the day. The night you dream of blue flowers. You're on a bench in a field of those blue flowers that light up the wetlands in the underground. Echo flowers. You're joined on the bench by a monster with a wide smile and only one good eye. A turtle monster with a white beard, dressed like an explorer. Wahaha, settling in, kiddo. You shrug. You must be quite the transition, says the turtle. Doesn't help the company you keep ain't the friendliest, eh? You think of how to spawn. You understand. You can be patient. Waha, aren't you sweet? The monster chuckles, deeply amused. Good luck, he always was hard to read. He looks out at the flowers. Tell me, do you believe in fate? Yes, I believe in fate. That's a funny thing, he says. Fate, we had our own prophecy. A prophecy? You've seen the emblem around, the one with the triangle. You nod. It's got a special meaning, although original meaning has been lost to the times. All we know is that the triangle symbolizes us monsters below, and the winged circle above symbolizes something else, he says. Some would say that it was meant to represent an angel who will descend from the surface and bring us freedoms. Others say freedom has a different meaning. The little monster pats your knee. Which are you? You blink, your eyes open. The morning brings in a snowstorm and you're stuck indoors all day. You're stuck indoors for the morning. You know, I think he's technically... If you think about it, technically, we count as an angel. We fell into the underground and we're in the kingdom of ashes where everybody's dead. This is kind of a game where we technically do become said angel. Can we save them? Or do we forever doom them to remain as ashes forgotten in time? The snowstormer stares outside, pelts against the window. While you do have clothes that are better suited for snow, at least in comparison to your first trip here, you know not to needlessly venture outside. The inn is linked up to the shops. You have plenty of food, water, and power, and most importantly, you are warm and safe here. You spend your morning working on your map of the underground. You sit on the floor of your bedroom as you work, utilizing the extra space in hardwood. You think you have a good map coming along. The underground is fairly linear, and all side paths lead to a quick dead end, so it's unlikely you'll get lost. You can't read all the signs. Some of them are written in a language you don't recognize, and the others use standard Delta rune. As you work on your map, it takes you 7 minutes to notice that you are no longer alone in your bedroom. Sans is pitched on the foot of your bed. You only notice it because you suddenly smell cigarettes. You look up at the skeleton. Hard work, huh? He says. Yes, you suppose so. Sans stares down at the map you're working on. You need a map of this place? Yes. You love your map. You'd be lost without it. Yeah. He lets something raspy and wheezy. Was that a laugh? Has it been so long since he last laughed that his voice is unused to making that noise? Oh, a pun, a map pun. Which was definitely intentional. Could he be a fellow pun lover? You think carefully. Knock, knock. He sits up straight. Who's there? Snore. Snore who? Snore hope you like bad jokes. Oh. His voice cracking. Knock, knock. Who's there? Noble. Noble who? Noble, was I knocked? Oh my god. His eyelids brighten in color. You think of any pun joke you might know. Oh my god. Oh. Huh? Oh my god. A friend of mine tried to annoy me with a bird pun, but toucans play at that game. He shifts around in the bed, his eyelids wondering. I want to be cremated as I go. If it's my last shot at a smoking body. Oh my god. Oh no, that was terrible. Oh my god, that was very distasteful. You smile anyway. No, who's there? Candies. Candies who? Candies' jokes get any worse? He snorts and snickers, and you can't help but giggle. The morning has drastically improved by swapping bad jokes with Sans. The two of you go back and forth for many hours, and he gets to follow you And he even gets up to follow you when you get a glass of water because your throat hurts so much from laughing. It's a nice day. At the end of it, he asks you, "You're really staying?" "That's the plan." "Huh, you're pretty weird," he says. You shrug. You can't argue against that. How many others would do what you're doing? "I guess I can invite you over," he says. "It would be neighborly." "You'd love to visit." "Okay," he says. "I'll meet you outside Groby's tomorrow night. We can have dinner." You agree to that, and Sans shows you his home the following night. Sans' home is the very last house at the end of the snowy town. Ah, he's taking us home for a visit. Sans' home is the very last house at the end of the snowy town. It's a 2-story house with red and green lights strung up outside. When you step inside, you're instantly hit with the smell of meatballs and cigarettes. The first floor has 2 rooms, one master room with blue and red wavy colored carpet, and a small room off to the side where you can see in the kitchen. There's a staircase in the far back. He has a green couch set up in front of the television, and there's stacks and stacks of books everywhere. There are socks, shoes, and clothes strewn about. Empty bags of chips, ketchup bottles, and other instant foods are shoved into corners without care. The table in front of the television has an ashtray that is stuffed full of cigarette butts. Wow. Sand ushers you into the kitchen. There's a small kitchen table that has been cleared off. You take a seat. You place a bowl of spaghetti and meatballs in front of you. He places a bowl of spaghetti and meatballs in front of you. It smells amazing. He sits down his own plate, a mirror image of yours. "Go ahead," he says. Although he has a permanent smile on his face, you're getting better at telling when he's actually happy. You take a bite of the dinner. Your face crunches up reflexively. "It tastes indescribable. I follow my bro's recipe," he said, his tone filled with cheer. It takes an impressive amount of willpower to swallow. You quickly reach for water to wash the taste in. "You don't have to eat the rest," he says. "I've got microwave ramen on the go." "Yes, please," he snickers. I can't cook. Micro is the best I'm willing to do." "Neither do you. You can burn water." Sans takes a drink of his water. You've been almost everywhere by now," he says. "Like any spots?" "I guess I like Waterfall." Sans nods. Does he have a favorite spot? He shrugs. I used to like Groby's." "The same one in this town?" "Yeah, it was a lit place." "Lit?" "Groby was a fire monster." "Oh, lit," you pause. "Did he sell blazed donuts?" Sans makes that wheezing noise again and spritches and croaks to life. Then he goes in 2 seconds. Was that joke too hard to handle?" He croaked. "No, I love a good fire pun." You notice his grin stretches wider. The dinner was nice. You enjoyed yourself. The following day, Sans joins you again. His company isn't consistent, yet you get the feeling he's creating this purposeful distance. You enjoy it nonetheless. Sans alters between bouts of somber silence and cracking jokes. He's also a very good listener. There are no other living souls in the underground. It almost amazes you how well Sans has coped with the unending silence. What he's gone through, the demise of an entire race with him as a sole survivor stuck in the isolation, must have been deeply traumatic. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. You've read some notes on solitary confinement and you understand it's considered an extreme form of torture. Many go insane within the first week. Sans has been alone for years. You don't know how he managed. You work on creating a proper way to honor the monsters while exploring the underground. A month goes by. Sans is a brat. You've come to accept this fact. You will be minding your own business when he pops. When pop, he appears right beside you. The first time he did that, you screamed. He has since made it his mission to jump scare you at least once a day, to keep you on your toes. Oh, and the pranks. Whoopee cushions under any seat you're about to sit in. Even if you check to make sure their arms dead, they'll magically appear when you turn around, or a small buzzer hidden in his hand when he pats your back or takes your hand. Commandment bottles with caps slightly unscrewed so when you use them they topple off and cover your whole meal. Lemon juice and salt mixed into your water. A surprise snowball to your back. You'll randomly play the trombone to go wah wah wah. If you trip or make a mistake in your hobby, he'll take a few of your clothes and hide them throughout the underground. It took you a week to find your spare boots. You know you could ask him to stop or to find them, and he would, but he seemed so genuinely delighted by your reaction, it was hard to actually be mad at him. And oh, the puns. Puns galore. Okay, that one you're actually thoroughly enjoyed. Sometimes he'll tell a joke that makes you laugh so hard you fall out of your chair. He'll get you wheezing and gasping for air. Whenever you laugh because of him, the lights in his eye sockets shine brighter than any star. He's a menace. Yet you say that with affection. The pillow fortnight. He said he's never been in a pillow fort before. It was an offhanded comment, and you don't remember the conversation that led up to it. You just remember. It stuck in your head and stewed for a few days until you decided to do something about it. In the morning, once Sans had gone, he's rarely home in the mornings, you get to work. You take the pillows off the couch. You grab the extra pillows and blankets kept in the closet. You make a trek to the end and carry back even more pillows and blankets. You stack the kitchen chairs and drapes the blankets over them. Also, I'm pretty sure the reason why he's gone during the morning is because Sans is just doing what he does normally, which is check the ruins and be near the front area in Snowdown in case somebody pops up. That's what it is. It's just, he's like a paranoid reaction for him. He just does it automatically. That's why he's not there in the morning. Because then by evening he knows, oh, I don't need to worry because the human always comes at the same time. Anyway, within an hour you have an impressive fort. You climb inside and maneuver the extra pillows around until you make a satisfactory nest inside. You crawl back out and grab your tablet. You wait. You don't have to wait long. Sans returns home soon. The blanket at the entrance lifts up and pokes his head inside. What's this? A pillow fort. His red and blue eyes look around. Impressive. You smile. You really have it covered, huh? You're a pro at this. It's your quilted pleasure. His eyelids brighten briefly. You pat the spot beside you and he crawls inside and takes a seat. The pillow fort, while impressive, is on the smaller side. He sits close enough to you that you're both touching. You turn on the tab and ask if he wants to watch a movie. A human movie? That's all you have. Sure, he says, his shoulder briefly moving up before they drop back down. You pick out a movie and prop the tablet against the side. As the movie runs, Sans is comfortably still. You hadn't noticed this about him. He doesn't fidget. There's a moment where he's so still you doubt he's even breathing. He doesn't need to breathe most of the time. Breathing is used as a way to ventilate his body when he uses a lot of magic. Any other time is unnecessary, so sometimes he'll just stop doing it. Ooh. The two of you enjoy the movie. Then there's a second movie, then a third. A night of dreams of a town you never got to see alive. Oh, Christ. Your dreams are tinged with bright colours and a soft glow. You know once you're dreaming. But there's something special about these dreams. Something magical. The internet night. Sans likes to read. He reads a lot. He told you that he read everything there is in the underground. He says because he likes to learn. It's the only thing that's kept his mind engaged through the drool. He owes what Sandy has to knowledge and the world of books. Naturally, you give him free reign of your tablet and show him all the books you've downloaded. He starts to frequently borrow it from you to read. He does it often enough that you feel compelled to get him new books and worried he'll run out soon. You don't have much signal in the underground. The only place you get a signal is near the barrier. You head up there in the early hours of the morning and make yourself comfortable. It'll take a long time to download the new books. Before you came to the underground, you cancelled everything except your phone service. You turned that into an auto pay. You have enough in your account to keep it uninterrupted for a few years. After they'll either have to find a remote job you can fingle or give it up, or find a way to pirate it. You're unsure what your options will be with the introduction of literal magic in your life. Sans finds you around noon. He stands beside you at the barrier. Leaving? You point to the tablet. Where's downloading? New books. Oh. He sits beside you. Actually, this is the first time you're able to show Sans the tablet when it has access to the internet. You might have Sans to scoot closer. You look too happy to be up to anything good, he remarks. As he obliges, You smile. You tell me you want to show him the internet. The biggest mistake you can do is introduce him to the internet. What? He'll see. What he sees blows his mind. For someone who loves to learn, the introduction to it is a true blessing. Bright side, you made Sans very happy. Downside, you don't get your tablet back for a month. Only because Sans figured out how to make his own from the lab. You may not be able to get in, but he has a shortcut, so it's no issue from him. The dream of monsters you've never met. Oh god. Oh god, is this Alphys? Oh Christ, this Alphys, I'm gonna cry. I was having a good time with frickin' Sans. Can I go back to that fudging biscuits, man? Where's my goddamn drink? I'm opening a drink. This is warm. I don't want this. I need something cold. This is warm too. Dang it. Dun, dun. You sink into a beanbag monstrosity. You've sunk so far down into it, getting out will prove to be a hassle. Despite this, you feel at ease and comfortable in the spot. Are you okay there? A nervous voice asks you. A short monster fidgets anxiously in front of you, and she's hunched over. Her yellow clawed hands squeeze a paper flower tightly. Oh, Alphys! Baby girl. Her head is reptilian shaped, and she has spikes over the back of her head. She wears large glasses that have a cracked down her lens, and she's difficult to meet in your eyes. God damn. You give her a smile. Like it here? She asks you. Do you? Yeah, there's something special about this place. She hesitantly smiles at you. I can understand, can she? Yeah, I actually took over this place, she says, fidgeting with the paper flower again. You glance around. You're in a wide room with baby blue tile floors and mint green walls. There are large monitors on the walls, and the airs feel unnaturally sterile. You've never been here before. You don't know where you are. It was all white when I came in, she says. Everywhere. No personality, no personal touch. The guy before me was clinical and detached as Mechazoid from BBQ's Cutie. After BBQ defeated the villainess who might control Mechazoid's wife, and the monster stops itself from rambling, seemingly deeply embarrassed to have done so. She clears her throat. You know, Buck, I tried to do the same. Keep it the same. I thought, what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to be like that, like him. She shrugs and gestures the room. I couldn't. I changed things. Small things and big stuff like painting the walls. I thought I'd like it better with color. She looks down at the paper flower and spins the flower in her hand. I can't bring myself to leave. Is it that special, or just because it's home? Oh, baby girl. Alphys. Oh. You feel something slimy curl around your leg. Excuse you? You look down and see a white tendril has wrapped around you, and you feel a shadow of you and look up to see another monster. Many monsters now surround you. Oh, the amalgamations. They morph their shapes with each movement. A white sheen covers them. They each clutch a green flower. It's our home, she says, until the very end. Oh my god. Yeah, because they can't leave anymore. They're stuck in the lab. Oh, Alphys, my sweet baby girl. You were making me cry. They start to press on you, an amalgamation of hugs. Thank you for staying. Oh, baby girl, I'm so sorry, Alphys. When you wake up from the dream, you find it hard to forget their warm embrace. The night terror, oh shit. Since coming to the underground, you've become a lighter sleeper. You are used to the constant silence, so there is an unexpected noise will instantly wake. Sans is a quiet sleeper, unless he's having a nightmare. The first time he had one, when you shared a bed, it was a minor one. He shifted. Wait, why are we sharing a bed? Why are we sharing a bed? Why am I sharing a bed with him? Why is he in the bed with me? It's just friendship, bro. I'm sharing a bed with him. Why am I sharing a bed with him? Sorry, I just literally got upset over Albus, and then all of a sudden I read the line, I'm sharing a bed with him. Why am I sharing a bed with him? Why is he in the bed with me? Guess maybe I just wanted to cuddle. I'm fine with that, but I'm in the bed with him? Okay. I'm liking this friendship route so far. Also, he needs hugs. It was a minor one. He shifted in his sleep and mumbled in pain. All you had to do was say his name and he was instantly awake, alert and disgruntled. He stared at you, tiredly mumbling a thank you, then rolled over and went back to sleep. This happened a few more times, each one fixed by you saying his name. Tonight is different. Tonight you wake up to him shivering and shuddering. You say his name, but he doesn't react. He's quiet, not a single whimper or mutter to be heard, but it is clear he's distressed. Magic sweat beads form around his head as his body continues to shake. You touch his face and repeat his name again. Sans! He doesn't respond. Worry gnaws at you and you get loud and you shake him gently. Sans! He doesn't react. Fear makes you sit up straight. You reach out to the night sun and turn on the light. Nothing happens. Sans's face stays static. He's always stuck smiling, but you can feel he's in distress. Oh God. Your heart aches as you think of ways to help him. You don't know what else to do without going to extreme lengths. And that could cause more harm than good. You pick him up. He still doesn't react and you settle him into your lap. You tuck his head under your neck and you hold him close. It's okay. You soothe him. He's okay, you tell him. He's not alone. You remind him. You're here. You reassure him. It's only a dream. You encourage him. You rock him, your companion as the night terrors plague his mind. He does not awaken, but you do feel him relax. With each member, the stiffness ebbs away from his limbs. You won't leave him, you promise. A blue-red light sparks in his left eye socket. Oh, shit. Then, when he notices you, the light widens. You suddenly feel a tight sensation in your chest, and you throw it across him. Sans! Right before you hit the wall, your body jerks to a halt midair. Oh my God. You and Stan stare at each other. You with wide eyes, understandable, and him now with empty sockets. You are lowered to the floor. The magical grip inside your chest gone, and you let out a slow breath, your heart pounding in your chest, and you glance behind you. Curious how close you were to... A chill goes down your spine. The wall is covered in spiky bones. If you had hit the wall, you would have been impaled. Right, he says. Not you. You're harmless. You're okay. That's okay. It's good. You're weak. Huh? I don't know if I should feel slightly insulted. The grip is back in your chest and you are yanked back onto the bed. Sans's eyes are still blank and devoid of light, and you call out to him. The skeleton monster starts to chuckle, rasping without mirth. Sans! He clutches at his head, a thumb going, ow! God no! Going into his eye and pushing on the edges. It's gone on too long, he mutters. The reset has to happen soon. I'm tired of waiting. You reach out to him, confused and scared as to what was happening. When you hear a crack from his thumb pushing into his eye socket, horrified, you throw yourself at him, yanking his hands out of his socket. He reacts violently to your lunge. The tight grip squeezes painfully and you are thrown into the air. You almost hit the ceiling, but you are again stopped before it goes that far. Why are you still here? He asks you. You are dropped. Run, he tells you. Go away. You shakily stand up. I could kill you. Yeah, I freaking noticed that. He says, a lot of things could kill you. The most likely thing to do you in, he says. Pity can only go so far. Who said you pitied him? Huh. Why wouldn't you cry, baby? Maybe at first you start to walk back to the bed. You don't anymore. Lights spark back inside his eye sockets and he rarely watches you. Return to the bed. Forget about it, Twinkle. Don't say stuff you'll only regret. You smile. A good thing you won't regret it this time, then. You embrace Sans, pulling him into your arms. He won't hurt you. Yes, I will, he says. No, he won't. You won't hurt him either, for the same reason he won't. You don't know that. You squeeze him. Oh. Oh God. Tell Sans you love him as a dear friend. I have no clue how he's gonna react to that. His arms wrap around you and he tightens the grip. He tightly grips the back of your shirt. Okay, he whispers. Okay, in the morning he decides to cook for you. It's his way of apologizing, you know. Although the best he can manage are microwaved eggs and toast. That's okay. It's the salt that counts. You understand. Another month goes by. Spending time with Sans becomes as easy as breathing. His minutes and tenacity aside, you genuinely adore the small skeleton monster. Every day is peaceful, tranquil. You've nearly completed your memorial to the monsters, and in celebration of that, Sans tells you about them. He sets you on the couch beside him at home, and then he starts to speak in that low voice of his. He tells you about Turiel, the goat monster who lived in the ruins. She liked puns and bad jokes, and she had a motherly aura to her. He tells you about Violet, the bunny monster who ran the Snowden shop. She was warm and nice and always liked to look after the children. He tells you about Grillby, the fire monster who ran the local bar. He was quiet, studious, and an excellent listener. He tells you about the dog patrol in Snowden. Greater dog, lesser dog, Doggo and Dogmina and Doggerus, who loved to play a variation of poker with Sans. He tells you about the royal guards, who would frequent Snowden and bring toys for the city to the children. He tells you about Undai, the leader of the royal guards, who was passionate in everything else she did. Undai. Oh, gosh. He tells you about Dr. Alphys, the royal scientist who was brilliant but constantly doubting himself. He tells you about the king, Asgore, the monster king who loved gardens and was far too kind for his own good. He tells you about each of the residents in Snowden. He tells you every monster you know, and then he tells you about Papyrus, his baby brother who loved puzzles and always wanted to have many friends. It's his scarf that he wears. You're crying by the end of it, big heaping sobs as you hiccup and sniffle. He calls you a crybaby and wipes your tears with the back of his sleeve. Why are you crying? I'm not, he says. That's why you have to, crybaby, he teases softly. You can't help it. I know, he says. His eyelids flick away from you. I admire that about you. You wipe your eyes and loudly sniffle it, and he rubs your back. Thank you, he says, for shedding tears for us monsters. The next week he tells you what happened in the underground. Kara, Frisk, the resets, the constant genocide. You cried so hard, your eyes are swelled shut for the rest of the day. You get a migraine the following day. Sans jokes that it ought to be called an orgasm. Instead, the two of you live together. That gets a small giggle from you, until you remember the literal hell he was put through and how likely he uses humor as a way to cope. But as with everything, you carry on. You mourn the tragedy that had happened, and you do your best to keep one foot in front of the other. With Sans, a whole year has gone by, according to your phone. You wake up with Sans beside you. He saw all the blankets again. That is not strange. What is strange is a box floating mid-air in front of you. We did it! We're here! What? You gently wake Sans up. Sans, wake up! The skeleton monster's eyelids spark to life at your stirring. Huh? He mumbles half asleep. You point to the box in the air and ask if you can see it. See what? You explain the box to him. He's instantly awake and he sits up. What? You can reset? There's a button. It has a little asterisk next to it. What happens when you hover over it? He asks you. You wave your hand over it. Kara and Frisk have left. Does that mean what you think it means? You can reset? He asks, sounding dazed. You can save them? Reset it, he whispers, his voice broken. Please, for me. You can't say no. You press reset. Oh my god! For goodness sake, everybody, and I'm gonna cry! You sit amongst golden frickin' flowers. I hate those Richard things! It takes you several seconds to recognize that you're in A throne room? It looks vastly different, as the flowers haven't overgrown or everything. And there's a large monster beside you. Where you are seated at a tiny table, he towers over you as he stands. He's a goat-like monster, similar to Toriel. He has a large golden beard and wears a purple tape over his armor. A crown sits atop his head. Asgore. Sans told you about him. You look around confused to be found here. You hit the reset room, so why are you here? Did it not work? King Asgore smiles benevolently. Howdy, Twinkle. Would you like a cup of tea? Honestly, Asgore, I greatly appreciate a cup of tea, but how about, you know, like a glass of chocolate milk? I love chocolate milk. I'm just not a person for tea. You slowly nod your head uncertain about the situation, probably looking absolutely freaking confused. Asgore reaches for the table. A teacup and a teapot magically appear. As he does so, he pours you a cup of tea and then takes a seat across from you. You take a sip of the tea. The smell of flowers wafts in the air. Do you have regrets? Do I have regrets? Do I have regrets? Should I have regrets at this point? I mean, I regret that I wasn't there. But that was out of my hands, right? I can't really regret something that honestly was out of it. A few. Asgore grimaces, his smile softening. He speaks quietly. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad as well. You may be able to understand. The King of Monsters looks away from you. It's a nice garden, he says. My wife and children started it. The flowers here, they are resilient. Even without true sunlight, they grow. A heavy silence fills the room, and the air is thick with a tangible somberness. He does not speak again for a long time. One child. One human was enough to kill us, he said. Oh God. Asgore raised his head, his dark eyes filled with tender warmth. And one human is enough to save us, he says. You. A black hole appears underneath your chair, and you can only gasp as you start to plummet. You're falling. Not a small fall, or a little trip. Oh my God, I'm back here. There's a plummeting fall. It's a head over heels fall. It's an over a minute has passed and you're still falling fall like a freaking idiot. Whoop, here we go again. Whee! You are hurling into darkness so thick that you cannot see your ivory skin in front of your own eyes. The air tingles with a strange energy that envelops you entirely as you fall, providing you with the sensation of tumbling through mist. You fall and fall and fall. And then you land in the bed of the sweet, disgusting yellow freaking flowers. You get up, surprisingly you're okay, not even hurt. You have a hand in front of you, amazed at how unscathed you are from this fall. Wow, you start to walk through the ruins, impressed with how well lit they are now. The sunlight from the opening above is astonishingly bright. Howdy! Oh, hello, little friend. A yellow flower monster pops up from the ground in front of you, and the monster smiles at you. Howdy, I'm Flowery, Flower the Flower. Hello. You must be new to the underground, aren't ya? Golly, you must be so confused. Someone else to teach you how things work around here. I guess little old me will have to do. Oh, that's nice. Ready? No. Chloe asked you. You smile and stupidly nod. Here we go. There's a rush of something tingly that emerges from your chest. Warmth blooms out of you. Pleasant and comfortable. A green light floating in front of your chest. See that heart? Oh my God, I've got the soul of kindness. See that heart? That is your soul, the very accumulation of being, Flowey cheerfully explains, little shit. Oh, the soul furs around you at your will. You can move it slightly away from your body. How wonderful. You can't wait to show Sans when you see him again. Your soul starts off weak, but then can grow strong if you gain lots of LV. What's LV stand for? Why, love, of course, you little shit. You frowned, wait. Love for love? Isn't that the terrible thing that can start a genocide? Why the fuck I bring it up? You want some love, don't you? Wait, what? Down here, love is shared through white friendliness pellets. That does not sound right at all. You tell Flower you aren't interested in obtaining any love. Allow me friends with you. Mars knows this as you let on. Are you? The flower monster's face morphs. That's fine, you'll still die in this world. Kill or be killed. And a fireball hits the monster, shooing him away. What a terrible creature to torment such a poor innocent soul. Mama Tori! Ah, it's Mama! I'm crying. No. Okay, because you can see like what it says by here when you enter the... Only this time when you enter the home you are greeted by a tall goat monster with a kind smile on her face. She was like, how freaking Mama Tori. Toriel? Sans told you about her. I am Toriel, the caretaker of the ruins, she says, and she smiles at you. She's alive. You did it! You really did it! Your eyes burn as tears spill out of you. Oh, my dear, don't cry, she says, hurrying closer to you. It's all right. It's all right now. Yes, it is. Come with me. Are you hungry? She says. You hiccup a laugh, crying harder, and you nod as you wipe your eyes. Oh, you poor thing, she says. Here, take my hand. She offers you her hand, and you take her hand. She guides you through a cavern that's not at all dark. It is well lit, beautiful, and teeming with other monsters. Each monster you see makes your tears come faster. No ashes. Some give you concerned looks, and others just freaking ignore you. I'm looking at you, Frogget. You don't care. They're alive. They're alive. Toriel takes you to her home. Come in, she says. Her voice is kind and sweet, and her right eyes feel as gentle and as warm as a fireplace. You thank her as you step inside. It's pleasantly warm, and the house is filled with soft light. At once you feel at ease. Your volatile emotions starting to settle down. Please take a seat, she says. I can whip you up something nice in just a little bit. You thank her. Your voice cracks. I'm happy to. She says brightly. She ushers you into the recliner by the fireplace. Are you cold? Not. She already has a blanket draped over your lap. Be at ease, dear Twinkle, she says. I'll be right back. You sink into the chair and your entire body relaxes. Wait! Did you tell her name? You must have. No, you didn't. You did not tell her your name. You did not tell her your name. Mama knows. San said he was the only one who ever remembered the resets, and you only ever met her in your dreams. Your entire body relaxes as you listen to the fire crackle. It doesn't take long for Toriel to come back to you. I finished baking a pie. Would you like some? You nod, excited to try her food. You graciously thank her and your voice cracking again, and she laughs slightly. Don't thank me yet. You haven't even tried it. She offers you her hand. You take it as you stand back up. Her fur feels velvet, delicate, and fluffy, and the monster gives your hand a careful squeeze and starts to guide you through the living room to your seat at the table. Once seated, she brings out a large pie and places it on the table. It's a golden brown pie with brownish brown colored filling. Around the edges are dollops of whipped cream with cinnamon sprinkled over the top, and it smells heavenly. Your stomach growls hungrily. You're starved. She carefully cuts you a slice and places it on a plate in front of you. I guess really I am cold, Mama Tori. Oh my, I'll put another blanket on you. Oh, thank you, Mama. Eat up, she says. You need to keep your strength, my dear. You pick up your fork and neatly cut out the first piece. You take the first bite and immediately taste the butterscotch and cinnamon. The pie crust is flaky and melts like butter in your mouth. It's warm, sweet, delicious, and there is no bitterness. It is everything you could have wanted in pie. You lick your plate clean. If you would like, dear human, says Toriel, you may stay here. The underground can be a dangerous place for humans. You smile at that. As much as you like to, you have to meet with someone else first. Oh! Yes, someone very, very dear to you. Another monster. I see you, she says. I can't keep you here. You are no child. Will you be back? You promise you will. She smiles at you. Good. She walks through the exit of the ruins. You were so used to the cold or snowing that it doesn't faze you when you step out, and you quickly walk through the snow, fully intending to reach Snowden within the next 5 minutes. You cross the first bridge when you feel a familiar gaze on you and you stop. Human, don't you know how to greet a new pal? Turn around and shake my hand. That voice, you know it as well as your own. You turn around. It's Sans, except the light in his eye sockets are pure white. Not a trace of blue or red to be found, and he's wearing pink fuzzy slippers instead of sneakers. Your eyes start to burn and you probably smile. What's wrong, Twinkle? Got dust in your eye. You choke. That was an awful pun. Yeah, he agrees. He holds out his hand. Let's start over. Hi, I'm Sans the skeleton. You smile. You take his hand and you introduce yourself, and his grin stretches. Nice to meet you, Twinkle. I got the feeling we're gonna be good pals. You feel the same. Happy ending. True pacifist sans friendship. Good lord, it's finally over. My freaking heart. Okay, now, with the inclusion of the bad endings, we can now say, I finished Dusttale. I'm gonna go now, go watch a bunch of kittens or something. My god. My soul. It was emotional. I love this game so much. Just that feeling of being able to reset and then everyone is back. Oh my god. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Oh my god. My wee heart. Okay, I'm also going to include this, which is a neutral ending. Pretty much all you gotta do is go through the whole entire thing till you get to the barrier, then you constantly stare at Sans till you get this. There's a moment of silence between you. He is a monster all alone in a kingdom of ash and dust. The last monster. Your heartbeat quickens. What if he's the reason for this? You stumble away from him in fear. Neutral ending visitor. Sans is a stranger. Congratulations, you left the kingdom of ashes behind you. You made it out alive. Heartbroken, but alive. This is ending. Are you happy with it? Of course you're not happy. You literally left Sans there all alone. And Sans, of course, didn't kill you. So this is from me trying to go through romance search, and then I just decided to like stumble away from him. Just to see the neutral ending. So there you go. There's a neutral ending. It sucks. You pretty much just stumble away from him. He at least doesn't kill you. You just do the cowardly thing of, oh my god, is that the killer? Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I'm out. By the way, there's the neutral ending for you. So in case people are like, Twinkle, you didn't get the neutral endings. There you go. You've got it now. I'm going to just stick it in. You're welcome. It's my least favorite ending so far. Let's see. You had kept dismissing it, but now that you've found the exit, you feel it again. Someone is watching you. A monster. One who remained quiet when you called out. Turn around. There's a monster behind you. He is shorter than you. He wears long black sweater pants and sneakers. He has a dark blue jacket that is zipped all the way and its hood pulled up, and has a bright red scarf wrapped around. His hands is in his jacket, part of an unusual shower covering his face from the hood. All you can see are two red and blue lights from inside, and he stares at you. You stare at him. This is the last monster. Last moment of silence between you. A monster all alone in the kingdom of ashes and dust. The last monster. Your heart breaks for him, and your eyes burn. You can't help it. You take a step closer to him. His head cocks to the side. You move closer to him, slowly and quietly. He doesn't wrap further than continue to watch you. When he's close enough, you shakily wrap your arms around him and pull him close. He's cold. He feels like nothing but skin and bones in your arms. This poor monster. You squeeze him tightly, and you hear a sigh. He pulls an arm from his jacket. He pats your back. Then he grips you on the back of your clothes. Tightens. You are suddenly yanked away by him and tossed through the barrier. The last thing you see are red and blue lights that shine deep in the dark. No. You don't want it to end here. I don't know. I think I was told it's... Oh. I was told a bad ending happens if I don't do something. I just got it. Sans freaking killed me. What the hell, Sans? Then it takes you another 2 days to find the spot where you fell. You are better prepared this time. There's no need for you to jump down. You have the right equipment to grapple down, even if it's something you've never done before. It takes you 30 minutes of careful maneuvering until you reach the familiar flower bed. You adjust the backpack over your shoulder and you pull up the flashlight you prepared and start to walk down the tunnel. Into the darkness you go, past the droplets. You reach the house and pardon the monster of the intrusion once more. You descend the stairs prepared to enter the cold, but you find a monster waiting for you at the end. You step to the monster, but suddenly there's a tight grip in your chest. You had your chance, faker. You don't have a chance to speak when you are brutally impaled down the middle by numerous bones and your body is split in two. You died instantly. Bad ending. Sans distrusts you. The only reason he distrusts me is because I chose not to leave flowers. Really? Come on. It was a misclick. You can't forgive me for one misclick? Absolutely not. Get out of here. I'm sorry. Nah, you're dead now. So shut up, dead person. Okay, so there's the other bad ending. This is what happens if you go back and you haven't done something during the route. Sans will kill you when you re-enter. Well, I believe that's all the bad endings. If I missed any, I don't know if I have. If I have, I'm sorry. I'll be sure to cover them if I come across them. I will keep playing this game and see if there's any more bad endings, but I think those are all the ones. I did ask Dusttale about it, so Dusttale, if you spot any that are missing at all, let me know. But I believe that's all of them, including the neutral ending. Anyway, that's a wrap, I believe, now for Dusttale. Sorry this last episode was a lot longer. I wanted to try and get everything in, and I hope you're okay with it. So that's going to mark Dusttale finally completed. Now we're going to go and tackle Ender Swap. Oh, goody. Gaster, why are you here? Because I like to pop in when you say my name. Go away! darkpetal16 is already excited to see you in Ender Swap when you pop up in the next chapter. Now go away! I need to prepare myself. Are you doodling, Grilby? Yes, I'm doodling Grilby from Slumbertail. Go away! Anyway, bye guys! See you in the next video, and thanks for watching! Gaster, stop touching me! Nope, never.